Good morning. Happy Tuesday to all of you agents of the UK, up and down. Thank you to the somewhere around 150 of you yesterday who watched the show by the end of the day. And welcome to another one. Right, let's crack straight into it. So the news this morning is quite varied. One second. So on the Negotiator, I do enjoy the Negotiator news website. It tends to have slightly different, slightly left field, interesting stories. And there's a story there about a surge of wannabe estate agents in the UK on the back of the US TV show Selling Sunset. And there are a lot of people, new people wanting to come into it. UMove has said on Property 3i that it's going to double the size of its franchise network. So more and more people going into the self-employed model. Sorry, there's that tab. And on Estate Agency Today, there's a story about the lack of agency stock pushing the value of accepted offers to record highs. And the Property Mark Housing Report is saying that in March, 84% of sellers accepted offers at or over asking price. Okay, hang on a second. I can't keep up with myself. There it is. The latest Property Market Report, based on member agent activity in March, found 84% of sellers last month accepted offers at or over the value they listed at. Well, doesn't that sound fantastic? Now, my news to you today, sorry, let me get rid of that. So on the back of that, you got increasing numbers of agents entering the market. There were something like 5,000 new ones last year. So there are more agents competing over less stock. You've also got this bizarre market condition that's happened since COVID, where there's this huge surplus of buyers, not enough stock, and everything's selling at asking price or more. And then you've got yesterday's story of the conveyancing partnership saying that their pipelines are slowing down. And my tip, my observation of the news today is that if you are new in a estate agency and you've started up on your own, either as a self-employed or as a franchisee, if you are thinking of coming in, it's important to remember that the conditions at the moment are really abnormal and extraordinary. The actual volume of transactions is high. There might be a shortage of stock, but it's only because everything's selling so quickly. So it's not like there's going to be a sudden increase in stock levels anytime soon. There might be slight increases. We haven't seen the spring bump we'd expect normally, only very small increases. So if you're thinking about the next year or 2 or 3 years of your life, you need to think very carefully, because there's going to be more competition. Properties are not going to continue selling at asking price or over, which makes your job easier than at other times. So the job will get harder and pipelines will get clogged up. In other words, the conditions have rarely been better to start an estate agency than they are right now, which is why so many people are starting. Okay, I'm not trying to put you off. If you are a good agent and you're currently working for someone else and they're getting the value of your skill and expertise and performance, I encourage you to start up on your own. But go into it knowing that the conditions right now are as good as they have been for a very long time for agents. And whilst they might improve a tiny bit in the next few months, they cannot possibly stay like this. And in fact, the early signs are already there of the improvement in the market conditions not lasting forever. So proceed with caution and be prepared and know what you're going to do if there's more competition, less stock, and then a conveyancing pipeline blockage. Anyway, sorry, not particularly exciting, boring, but important. On to the next point of the day, which is my tip of the day. By the way, guys, please, I'd love to know if the people watching right now are you agents, or are you suppliers, or are you neither of those things? I don't actually know who's watching. So I know that there's quite a lot of people watching every day, but I don't know who you are. So please just send a comment, not necessarily now during the live show if you don't want to, but afterwards, put a comment in, let me know what you thought, and let me know if you're an agent or not. It'd be great to know. Right, tip of the day. 1 second. Coffee sip, very important. Oh, so good. I remember sitting with a client a while ago who was an excellent agent. He was one of the best I've ever met. And yet he said to me, Charlie, because I know this market so well and I've done it so long, I know exactly how to sell these. I know who's going to buy them. He said, but when a vendor says to me, why would I pay your full fee when you've just said you can sell my property in a few phone calls? And he said, I don't know what to say, because when they say that, I think to myself, well, they've got a point. A few phone calls, probably sold, won't be much work. Perhaps I should drop my fee, which is a huge mistake. And this feeds to the whole industry undervaluing itself. You are all charging too low fees. And that's one of the reasons you can't pay your staff enough, etc., etc. You've all got to charge higher fees. You've got to be charging 1.5% to 2% eventually. When things get tougher, I think that might happen. This is the answer to a vendor that says, but why would I pay you this much money when you can sell my house in a few phone calls? The answer is because of the years it's taken you to get yourself to the position where you're good enough to do that, where other agents can't. Number one. Number two, because if you're being truthful and you really know who the buyers are, you've got those buyers and someone else hasn't. And you've got yourself there because you've invested time attracting those buyers, registering those buyers, and getting to know those buyers well enough that you are sure they're going to buy this property. And number three, because who else is going to sell their property that fast in a few phone calls if you really are one of the better ones I'm talking about? So when someone tells me the story of a seller saying, but if you can sell it in a few phone calls, why would I choose you? This to me is a fantastic opportunity to close them at a high fee, to close the deal of getting that instruction at a high fee, because you have done so much more than other agents have to get yourself into that position in the first place. I actually did this once. One of the first flats I sold in London was a studio flat, and I went to an agency that had a very high fee compared to the others. They were 2.5%. This is in the early 2000s. It was a studio flat. And they just said, it's 2.5%. And I said, but you just said you'll have it sold by the end of the day. And they said, yes, that's because we're so good at our job. And that's why we charge 2.5%. And I had sold my flat at asking price by the end of that day. And I was happy. So guys, just don't back down. Do not be shy retiring wallflowers when it comes to defending how much time and effort you've invested to get yourself to the position where you can sell your clients' properties at that in a few phone calls, so to speak. So I hope that's helpful. David Turnbull in Tavistock, West Devon. Welcome to the show. Thank you for your comment. Hi. Isn't it a lovely day down in Devon today? Absolutely fantastic day. So guys, 8 minutes. We're already almost up. I hope you enjoyed that. And tomorrow the show is going to be coming. I'll be out and about. So it'll be my first show from the road, so to speak. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be on a bit of a road trip. I will be with my family, so it could be interesting. But this technology I'm using allows me to do it from anywhere else, as long as I've got fast enough internet. So fingers crossed, tomorrow's show will be from somewhere different. Have a fantastic day. Don't sell yourself short. Don't discount your fees. If you're really good, make sure you get what you deserve. And have a great day changing your customers' lives. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.